Hey everybody, welcome back to Zine Cuisine. Today is Wednesday, and as I have promised, we have a review. Today we are going to be reviewing the SuSu Zine. La la! SuSu Zine is a literary zine. You have prose, you have some interesting essays, you have some fiction, and you have some informational writing as well, which is great. So it's a good cross-section of multiple styles and disciplines of writing. A little bit of illustration in there too, which I'm so happy to see, you know, a good mixture of the two of them. So, well, they were so gracious, and they sent us 4 issues from October of last year to January of this year. So it's very current. It's a monthly zine. We're going to kind of go through each one and just really briefly go over this style of zine. This is what is also known as a half-page zine. So it's half a letter size this way. Cover is black printing on a color piece of paper, and it looks like every month they alternate what color paper they use. It is saddle stitch with 2 staples, and you have a really cool illustration on the front of each one. The table of contents, all printed on the inside, and it is hand numbered, which I think is really unique, and it gives it that very nostalgic DIY aesthetic of zines, which reminds me of doing zines back in the 90s, making little books of just my thoughts. That it definitely speaks to my heart. So we have SuSu Zine October 2019, which is, you know, great imagery, illustrated poems, illustrated, it's really cool illustrated stories, a little mini essay about the fall. The fall is all about witches. It's really cool. I love this so much. And I love the fact that there's this I must say right now, this cover speaks to me. It's a giant hand. And it says, "I live in a near constant state of pain," which anybody who has any autoimmune issues, just like, right on. So, that's just great. I'm going to go ahead and read the back page, because the back page seems kind of like it's about the same on each. And I'm going to put the information on how you can apply, or rather submit to this, because I think that if you're a writer, or you're an essayist, poet, or hey, you like to slam down some really interesting lyrics, go ahead and put it in here, because this is really cool. This is really cool. So I'm just going to paraphrase the first part. The SuSu Zine has an alienating goal to be the most eclectic collection of art and artist droppings this side of the local river. We're talking true eclectic, no flowery talk, Karen style stuff where everyone feels good but no one can say, not gonna say it, just because, you know. Beep. Okay, our creators are weird, and such desires release the beast in their colleagues, friends, lovers, and pets. There's more to this too. I really want you to pick up a couple of issues, and I want you to look at it. So you can contact them. Embrace rejects, outcasts, timid folk. I love that. I mean, it's just the whole, it speaks to my soul. So, like what you read, send us your work to be featured in future issues at tarabartley@yahoo.com. There we go. So I want you to be able to contact them, so I'll put the means of contacting them below. And I believe they contacted me on Twitter. They were the first package to send zines, so you know, mail day is always fun now because we're getting these great zines in. I believe a couple of these will be in the 100 giveaway. So when we hit 100 subs, we're going to give a couple issues away, and I'll use a couple more in future as well, because I might keep one, honestly. There's one that I'm really in love with for our zine library, because we do curate a zine library here as well at the offices of Zine Cuisine and Chris Color Esquire. No, not really Esquire. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do a full kind of panel out lookout with the black behind it. And let's show you what you need to see, because you really need some SuSu Zine in your life. Okay, so what we got here is 4 great little zines. They went ahead and they changed colors for each month, which is really cool. We're going to start with October 2019. Do a little gloss. It's a hand illustrated cover. Really cool, funky. Got the logo right in it. October, so you get the month. And you have some, table of contents. And you have a really good feel of exactly how this issue is. It's definitely October themed. It's kind of spooky, a little bit of witchy, which is awesome. It is saddle stitched to staples, classic. It is a full letter page and folded in half, which is honestly one of the easiest ways to do any long format. And the inside paper is white with black printing. This is probably by far the most economical way to do a zine other than a 1-page fold, because there's really no cutting. There's just folding, 2 staples, boom, done. And color paper really does not cost that much. Color printing costs, yes. Color paper does not. So you have October, we have November, obviously a nice little nod to a hand turkey like we used to do when we were kids. Table of contents, some flower sutras, copyright for text and art, some nice poetry. That is so cute. That is so ridiculous. I love it. So you have different writers in here. You have some definite political statements, which, we love, and that's what zines really are all about. If you're not making some sort of, if you're not making some sort of statement with what you're writing, then, what's really the point sometimes, So that one's a definite Thanksgiving kind of issue. December cracks me up because it is... It's a trash panda in the toilet, and you gotta love that. So you got some great, look, they really changed up the table of contents, kind of give it that more cut and paste kind of zine feel, which is, very reminiscent of a lot of the femme zines in the 90s and punk zines of the 70s and 80s. So you got that kind of feeling. You got some really cool, let's see, that looks like a nice piece of fiction right there. Haven't really gotten to read completely through this, and there's a really, I love the way they do it. There's different typesets, everything. So that's that issue. I don't really want to give too much away when I'm going through these, because I want to just whet your appetite, and I want you to get their stuff and love on it yourself. I want you to discover it. So in January, this is the most current issue we have. So they should be working on February, or have February out right now. And I love the front because, look, that is straight up D&D right there. It's kind of awesome. It's really awesome. So you have some poetry, you have your table of contents, you have some illustrations. It's beautiful. This is honestly, I did love this one right here, Daggers. That is gorgeous. Purely awesome. I want people to understand that not every zine is going to be a comic or illustration. It's going to be some writing. You're going to have some zines that are nothing but words, and they need you to think. They want you to think and process that information yourself. And this is definitely one of those zines. There are some pictures drawn in it, or pasted, really cool funky art right like that, like this little guy right here, but they want you to think, and that's super important, because if we have everything just told to us, what is the point of using our brains? We're just kind of on autopilot for the most part with TV and news, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, reality TV, that's not real. this is real. This is how people feel. This is real right here. So, you've got, I would say that there's a little bit of content warning on some of these, possibly language, possibly some imagery, and that's the whole beauty of freedom of speech, is we get to put our words out on paper. It is not hateful words, it is truthful words, and that's just beautiful, man. I'm sounding like a complete, like, you know, hippie right now, but it's beautiful. I love the pot legalize it in here, because you know what? We need to get over ourselves. If alcohol is legalized, then why isn't marijuana? So, here's Zine. I highly recommend you get it. The links will be below. And bon appetit! Welcome back. So, that is Zine in a nutshell, and really think that if you need to submit something to kind of get your word out, and you're not really sure about making a full zine for yourself, this is a good way to put your foot out there and go, hey, look, I have words, they mean something, and I want to share them with people. It's a great way to do that. So let's talk about a couple little things coming up. I have another review this Friday coming. We're working on right now, getting all together, and we are officially 20 subscribers away from hitting that 100 mark. And you know what that means? 100 means that we're going to give away a package of zines and pins and patches and all this good stuff. All this good stuff. For you, whoever is 1 in 100 is going to get that. And after that, I think that we're going to do one on Instagram as well. I think I'm going to aim at maybe 250 Instagram subs. We're going to go ahead and give another package away. These packages are no joke. There's a lot of people's hard work and their livelihood for many people. Like, we don't do this because we're here to make money, but, you know, hey, if it supports us as artists and writers and creators, then yes, it does help us when people buy our zines at Zine Fest or online or on Gumroad or however we put it out there. Okay, so a couple of little tidbits. Again, subscribe, the little buttons below. That'd be really cool and groovy if you did, because you know what? Subscribers are awesome, and we want you to know what we're up to. So go ahead and hit that little bell as well, because that's going to tell you whenever we put a fresh new episode up, which right now is a little hectic because we just finished 2 shows and also work normal jobs, like day/night jobs. So it's kind of like, let's go ahead and put an episode here, and we're going to try to do, like I said, we did one yesterday, we're doing one today, and we're going to do the one Friday, and then we're planning 3 more for next week. We have some mail to go through, really good mail too. I mean, we have some super interesting, and also working on a way to fully rate. I'm saying rate in a very, how about this? I'm saying rate in a very broad sense. We don't rate them like, you know, this one's terrible, blah, 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 blah. It's not what we do. We want to rate it as far as, like, you know, okay, this is this style printing, and this is how it's bound, and this is the size that it is, and this is why you should buy this, because, you know what, at the end of the day, you're going to send us zines, which you should. You should send us zines. You want us to review your zine, we're going to do it. We want to share it with the community. We want everybody to pick up your zines. We want people to buy your zines, share them, talk about them, because that's what our community is about. Straight up. That's the way it is. So if you hit the little bell, you'll get notifications on when we post again. Also, as I told you yesterday, our printer died. Our printer is our main way of making zines ourselves. So we make zines. David's a writer, I am an illustrator, and we both do comics and stuff together. So we make zines. Our zines are directly the way of right now how we're funding this channel, how we're putting any resources into it. So anytime you go to a show and we were like, hey, cool, why don't you, support Zine Cuisine? That's the way to do it. We're going to put some of our zine stuff up online as well, so if you want to support that way. Looking into Patreon still, have not really learned it all that well, so still learning. If there's any subjects you want us to cover, we are currently planning our first tutorial. We're going to start with the ubiquitous one-page letter size zine. We'll be able to do that more when we get a printer, so we're kind of trying to get funds to get a new printer. Ours died. It was very sad. It had 2 good years, and we did a lot of zines printed on that, a lot of comics, a lot of everything. So right now, I don't have any way to get any of our digital content that we've created onto paper, because, Alright, well, again, subscribe. Here's below. Bon appetit. We'll see you on Friday with another fresh episode, another fresh review, and peace.